So we've talked a lot about being called into foster care. So what does the church look like in participating with foster care? Like what's their role? How do they fit in?
Yeah. Man, I would say the church has the role almost outside of the parents. And I don't know, we've probably all heard the statistic that I think it's, if every church in the U.S., if a family from that church took in one kiddo, foster care would go away. Yeah. So that in and of itself, shows the impact that the church can have. I think we can get overwhelmed by the numbers, by the need, both nationally and locally. Thousands of kiddos right now in Arizona need homes. So that feels huge. Yeah. But on an individual level, like for me, being a single foster mom, working full time with like a lot of responsibility, and I needed that community. I needed my church. And they were there for me, whether it was meals or just, a sympathetic pat on the back when I was having one of those days. I had a funeral of a close coworker I wanted to go to. My pastor himself, who has 6 children of his own, babysat for me so that I could go to that funeral. So I feel like my encouragement to the church is don't be overwhelmed by orphan care. Just get in there and help the people in your church that are already involved. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Well, I keep thinking, if not me, then who? Yeah. So, and the same is true of the church. I mean, in knowing that like this is something that God has called us to do and to step into these painful places and help the orphans. I mean, that's just following God's commandments and following through with that. So I definitely agree with everything that you said there.
The call in James to care for the orphan and the widow.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I think people can be called to foster care who aren't able to foster, meaning loving on the foster families. And we too had people with just as many kids as us. One family brought us meals every time I had court. Court wrecked me every time. And so knowing that I didn't have to cook, and our friends really wrapped around between prayer and childcare. And I think it feels scary to a lot of people, as we've discussed, but there's really practical things that you can do that are a huge blessing. Like you said, a pat on the back, a text, food, coffee, letting me nap while you sew my kids.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of coffee.
Yeah. Right.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.